I'm Danny Rosenthal. I'm the Director of Community Partnerships at Enginehire. With us, we have Katie and we have Shaw from our team. They're amazing. Actually, Katie, if you take just a few seconds to share a little bit about yourself and what you do at Enginehire, I think that'd be really helpful.
Yeah. So I'm the operations manager for Enginehire. I've been with the team for a little over a year. And I am the resident problem solver. So I'm here to help our onboarding team make their tasks more efficient and help our clients get into their platforms and learn how to do it and always improve that process and amongst other things within the team. That's a little gist for me.
Amazing. Thank you, Katie. And Shaw, if you're here, if you can, I know that you're probably working crazy hard, but if you could just share a little bit about yourself too before we jump in, totally, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Thanks, Danny. Hey, everyone. I'm head of the support team. You might already have probably interacted with me in live chats and tickets. And yeah, I'm just your go-to guy if you are stuck on something. There are bugs and issues that needs to be taken care of. And I'm happy we're having this gathering right now. I'm sure Danny has some really awesome things that he wants to share.
Amazing. I think I do. Okay, so there's a ton, a ton of features all over Engine Hire. Um, but I wanted to narrow in on a few that we could really just focus on that are often, I believe, overlooked and that are there to help your candidates apply and help your team, uh, manage that as well. Actually, I'm looking and I'm seeing some of you on here. I was like, oh, some of you actually really take advantage of some of these. Um, so let me dive in here. So I'm going to share my screen. Bear with me a second while I pick the entire screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Perfect. Head nods appreciated. Thank you. Okay, great. So your candidate application. There's just really two things that I want you to see in here, which is the upload resume. So that's the resume parser, and you can rename it whatever you want. But basically what this does is if you have an amazing candidate coming in pre-prepared with their amazing resume, when they upload that, we have AI in the back that can read that and go, oh, that looks like a first name. I'm going to put it in first name. That looks like a last name. I'm going to put it in last name. The the better, the more plain a resume looks, the better this works because it's just reading text and then trying to make really its best guesses on it, as AI does. Um, but of course, this is something that can really streamline a lot. Um, all the time we hear how applicants are like, all these applications are too long, no matter how short it is. So this can really just bump that along for them. Right below that is the returning applicant button. So that is for when someone starts filling out their application with you, but they don't hit submit for whatever reason. They could come back, and when they do, they'll see that button and they can hit it, and it will give them a code to go back in, and it will just populate everything from where they left off. Again, another super time saver. So now you've saved time on the them even filling things out, and we've saved time on them filling things out again if they stopped for whatever reason. These both are, I think, extremely powerful tools that, for the purpose of this gathering, like I think they're truly underutilized. And like what's really great about these is they can just kind of live in the background. Like you don't have to do anything with them. Like they can just be there and make things slightly easier. Uh, I also just wanted to share with the resume parser here that it's only as good as the questions that you have that are shown. in here. So it's making its best guesses, but it's also doing it based on the questions that you had. So sometimes people will reach out to support and say, hey, it did a really terrible job of this, which could also totally could happen. But sometimes it's like, oh, that you don't actually have a question remotely even close to that. And sometimes it comes down to like the language of that. So it's really helpful, but that's not the, it's most likely no one's going to hit upload resume, have it parse it, and then they just can hit submit from there. That's probably unlikely. From there, and if you've ever been to one of our webinars that we talk about Enginehire features at all, you've heard me say this so many times, but it's really one of the most powerful tools in the entire arsenal, and it seems so simple, but it's so powerful, is having emails that go out when someone is already in a status. So a lot of us have set it up so if you are you've moved somebody has applied and they get an automatic email because they've hit submit, you have it so that they go to that status, that when they hit submit, they're now in applied. And you have an automated email that will send to them, usually saying, thanks so much for applying, anything like that. What's really powerful is that doesn't necessarily move people along. And even if you really do have amazing next steps in that email, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to follow those next steps right then and there. So what I highly recommend, and this is the really powerful tool, is doing the status reminder emails where you share those steps again. So this is status change notification, and I'll change it to status status reminder. And that is, again, a really fabulous tool. At every status, if you open up your process flow and you don't have a status reminder email for it, definitely make one. I think all of the time, the true goal of all of this is like you're funneling your applicants and clients, applicants down, and you're always trying to get them to the finish line. So whatever you need them to do, just have it automatically sending. So you're not, I mean, it's a benefit for you and for your clients and candidates that you're gently reminding them like, hey, I'm here. I can help you. Just let me know what you need. In that situation where somebody might have to go back to their application and hit the returning applicant button to fill it out again, you should have a status for like application started where they don't hit that, and have it send like 4 hours after they haven't hit submit. If they haven't done that by then, have one just say like, hey, we saw that you were filling out your application with us, and if you had any problems with it, please reach out to our team or go back in. Like any of those things, again, just like a next step to nudge someone to just hit submit on that and keep going with everything. So we've done like 3 things right now that are really powerful. In that also,
sorry, not to interrupt
go
you.
for it, Katie.
We have a few questions that are popping up about the items that you've specifically been covering. Do you maybe want to cover some of those questions that are popping up in the chat?
Yes, let's
Do you
cover
wanna
those, but let's just keep sharing so we have a lot more time for all of this. Keep the questions piling up. We'll get through all of them. Katie, Shaw, if you do have a moment and you can answer them in the chat, we'll do like a whole recappy thing. Sorry, I'm not taking questions like just right now, but I want to make sure that we all get through the things that I did want to share. So also it's in advanced templates, you can have to-do tasks. So we've put a few template things in here that are really, they're advanced, but not really. They're there for you. So task templates. This is, again, another thing internally for your own team. So I'll just open this one up. It's right here. Again, it works very similar to the emails. So a status change, someone has been application approved in this example. And I have the title for it of like, hey, please follow up. Then you have a really much better description than follow up with the candidate. You have it selected to people if you did, if you want to, not necessary. You have all of these other options in here because they're to-do tasks. So reminders are often really great in those situations. And then what happens with that when someone does get moved into it, and I'm just going to select Stevie, it populates right over here. So you can just add them whenever you like. But again, you can have that automated. It would then ping your team member. It could ping yourself of just like some next steps that you might want to have going on. I'll also share that building your Enginehire platform to be exactly what you want it to be is a forever goal. Things are always changing, not just like features within here, but in your own, like how you're doing things, new services that you're adding, all of these things. So I recommend, like, as you realize that you've written an email more than once, that, or maybe like more than 5 times or 10 times, when you realize that you're writing the same email over and over again, make it an email template. I have one, maybe not in this demo platform, but I have an email template that just starts with hi and then their name. So when I'm writing anything to any of these candidates or clients, and I start doing one, I just have like a template that says hi in here, and then it already goes. So I'm not even thinking, hey, buddy, like, which if you see, I'm in the Buddy Holly one, so I'm not just calling people buddy, but again, all these little things to just keep moving everything along and save you as much time as possible. I looked, on average, it takes like 3 to 5 minutes to write an email. The more professional this email is, like people that you haven't spoken with before and you want to be at your top, the longer it takes you to write this email. I've read that it takes like 10 minutes sometimes to write these emails, and longer. So once you have that great wording down that you realize you're writing over and over again, just make a template for it. Okay, moving further through, we're doing good here, people, so we'll have time for all these questions. This is really simple within here, but again, really powerful, is that you can have that resume parser again inside the application, or sorry, inside the profile. So where you now have more questions that the AI can read and go up against, it's there for you for anyone to do that again. I will just quickly, as a small side to this, don't want to totally derail things, but you can have your sections appear as you want them to appear. So if there's things that you want, so you can have them like as different statuses. You can hide things at another status. So after someone has done their references and you don't want them to ever think about adding a reference or messing with that ever again, you can hide it after they have completed that step. There's so many things like that, of like where, again, it's about focus, of like narrowing them down. There's also like removing and just making sure that the focus is always where you want it to be when you want it to be there. So if you had a really small application that then immediately redirected people into this application, or sorry, into their profile, which you can do. Sometimes you can have it be, it just is like, hey, submit. Or there is an option where it just redirects them into their profile to keep going. And so you can have it so that they do the contact part, they hit save, that moves them into another status, it keeps going. This is a great way to really fill up a ton of statuses, but it is there as an option for you. I like things to be simplistic, but I also, again, there's a lot of options in what you can do with this, and I'm just sharing to make sure that your mind is open to all of them. Just a few more things, and then we'll go to questions. Like I said, there's a ton of features here, and we could really go at this for a long, long time. But I wanted to make this simple and actionable for everybody that has joined us, and we can do another one of these another time. For placement jobs, or actually, it's actually both for placement jobs and shift jobs. Let me move this over. This is my incognito screen of this demo platform. And so if I was going to your website to see the jobs, I'm looking at the job board. I see one that I think would be great for me. When I hit that I'm interested, you can then have another application specific to this job appear. So if there's really specific things that aren't covered in your regular application, or as is the purpose of this meeting right now, is like to make it simpler for everyone on your team as well as them, they can fill out more things. So the one thing that I think of all the time that should go in here, I don't even know how great of an idea this is, but I always put it like, or do you live within 10 miles or whatever of this actual role? That, quickly cuts down, and people can be like, yes, I do. No, I don't. And whatever it is, it's just, again, to focus your team into being like, oh, okay, these are the right people for us. These are the people that we're not going to interview. Like there could be so much wasted time to so many people seeing a really amazing job that they love that like they really just don't fit for whatever reason. And this option allows you to ask specific things for this specific job. In the options for this, and I'll just go back over here to the application builder for this. It's called Job Application Pre-Screener Form. Sorry. We'll just look at it again. So yeah, it's the pre-screener form. It's actually called Job Application Form. It's automatically named that in here when you do that. And so you could do it for placement jobs, and you could do it for shift jobs, and you could just have this for all of them. So again, if you just wanted to ask one question, like, hey, do you actually live close to this job? That you might want to remind people every time that they are applying for a job, you could just have this one thing always pop up. Or, and I know some of you here do this, you have these really specific for each job, which again, and you, if you're doing this, already know how much of a time saver that could be. And just a few more things. Sorry, on that, before I move forward, with that, in every application, you can have conditions. So we'll go, sorry, trying to make sure, edit this. So you can have conditions on all of these. So when someone is filling this information out, you can have the rejection questions. All of these conditions are actually super helpful in just making sure that everything is filled in where it could go. Doing that a lot for you. If they click a button somewhere, that can make them be, a type. If they are a nanny, when they select whatever, it can put them and do X, Y, and Z for you to make sure the conditions are there. But the rejection conditions can just be really helpful in making sure that you're knocking out the people for your team. They don't need to see anything that happens with that, but it can just be really helpful in making sure that your team is, again, focused on that. So now that I'm in the placement jobs, here's the last couple of things that I just wanted to talk about. Is if I'm viewing the applicants for this job, there's an option to find the best match with AI. And what it does when you use this is it's reading the job description that you created, and it's reading everything in the profiles of your candidates. So it is reading their types and their tags. It's reading what they've written in every section. It's reading everything that's in their profile. It is not that I believe as of right now, but if it's not doing it right now, there's a ticket for it to also read the like interview notes. So where you get to dig deeper into your applicants. This isn't like the end all. Oh, we have analyzed them before. So like this isn't the end all be all of like this person's 90%. They're at the top, so of course they're gonna be the best. It's absolutely not created with that in mind. It is just another tool that is available to you to narrow in your team's focus. If you have a bunch of applicants for this, you might want to start at what it thinks is when it's reading the job description and reading the profiles. You might want it to slim this down and put them in an order of who you should be looking at first. Also, oh, and one little cool feature about this is you wouldn't think this, but when this stays here, anyone on your team can see this after you do this. That's why it has the like, hey, you want to see the AI matching scores, and you can just pull that up again, and you can have it do as people continue to apply for these jobs. You can have it just keep analyzing more and more of them. You're only allowed to analyze, and I know this is a big number, 100 of them at a time, because the more you have analyzing, the longer it'll take. So that is for the applicants. The same thing, we have the same thing here, but it goes against your entire database. It says in here that it can only do 100 applicants at a time, so definitely use all of the filters to narrow in on, you know, what you're looking for in this. Advanced filters, just the regular filters presented to you. Anything in here, select them, and then you can have it analyze the best matches based on your database. So maybe they didn't apply to this, but maybe they're a really, really good fit for this. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about here. Again, there's so many features. So let's start going through questions inside that people have asked. So glad there's so many of them. Okay. Just scrolling.
Can you show something,
Yeah.
if you mind, how I fill it out for the family to sign when I'm sending a contract or the agreement? Can you show that? That I have difficulty with this one.
In
Like
creating
a document, yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple cool things with this. I'll try to fly through this one. Document. So you can select who it's for. In this case, it's going to be for the client. You can select what category they're in. If this is between more than just the...
It's only one, yeah.
Yeah, so great. It's client. Now we'll go to the next part of this one.
Okay.
The text editor part, I really like, because you can copy and paste and put in your document here.
Okay.
What you want. If you just click on this, it will put it in here.
Okay.
And you can have this pull from everything that's inside their programs, and it can just automatically do it, which is really great, because when you have a contract or an agreement you want them to sign, you don't want to be looking back and forth at their address and everything like this. It's a template, so it's just there for you.
It is there. It's a template, but and then I have to add her name. So and then I have to add whatever quote thing that I have to. Is that what? And it make them a little confused when I have to do that. So you click from here and put the name there. The name has to be populated here then.
This could be whatever you want it to be. If I wanted to have it be like Shaw is the best and make sure that they know that and that they sign that later,
Yeah.
could be whatever you like. There's also a version of this where it's image based.
Yeah.
So if the best case scenario for this, to me, is when you have a government document is not something that you're allowed to change, but you need that information,
Yeah.
like anything for taxes, you can use this one to start that document for you, and you can place in the things where you need someone to fill it in. That can also be super helpful. But some people use the image-based one for when they've spent uh, a lot of time making a really pretty document for whatever amazing reason that they've made a really pretty one, and they can just use that in there and put that in here and then
So,
have
but
that.
how I put the name of the because we have to put the name where they're gonna sign, or they just add their name themselves, and then I can add it automatically in the tab.
Yeah, you can have, so in the next part is where you can have, you'd add the signer,
Okay, I see.
client, and you could just have them type it
Oh yeah. Okay.
there. And then if you want to be what I think is like kind of fun, is you could have the drawable one. So
Yeah.
then they generally type in their name and then they sign something in scribbles.
Okay.
Then you have that go. You could just have it live there, or you could have it go at be attached at a certain status of them.
Okay.
These could be really cool because you could put it also connect it with an email.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But if you have any more questions about that, definitely. I will also say, just since I was about to say this kind of anyways, is I always I use this personally all the time to find the information that I'm looking for. I'm either starting to ask a question or I click help and start typing something in to find what I'm looking for. If I spend more than like 3 minutes doing it, you decide your own time frame to that. But then just go, when you're like, I know that there's something around here that can help me with this, and you're looking around. If you spend more than 3 minutes, I would say you should just reach out to support.
Okay.
Or use this to like help
Yeah,
you navigate all of that. Yeah. Okay. Great. What status does the applicant need to be in to be a returning applicant? You get to decide that. They could be, yeah, they could, maybe we could be like putting, you know what we'll do after this is we'll put in articles in the community and I'll attach them to the email about all of these. But basically, you can decide what status you want people to be in to be a returning applicant. So you could not allow people to return. So like if they've really upset you at some point and you're like, oh, you're rejected completely, we don't deal with you anymore. Maybe they're not allowed to apply ever again. Although they could sneak in there with an email, with a different email or something. But I will also say on top of that, we're creating something, so hopefully that even catches that when it's like, oh, we've recognized these are the same people. Katie, you already said you get to define this. Oh my gosh, Katie, Shaw, you guys are the best in here. Okay, but I'll read them anyways. Can placeholder IDs be inserted into the docs? Follow up with first name, current position title. You can use the placeholders for the to-do tasks. Great. Does this also fill out fields in the profile? You saw that we then covered a little bit later that you can have the resume parser on the profile to get the rest of it. Shaw came in there strong with an article. Do we need to manually enable the AI feature? The AI feature is already set there for you. So the only thing is if you never want, the AI features are only there for your team. So if you're looking at them in like an application or something like that, that's only because you're logged in as an admin. Some people still don't want their team using that. So there actually is an option. It might be something that that Enginehire support needs to turn off that for you. But there is an option that can actually also take even that AI away. Not throughout the entire system. It won't like remove every AI thing, but there's certain places where you're like, hey, make this often seen in like a client or candidate profile where they've written something. You're like, oh, AI could probably write this better, and you have it rewrite it. You can remove that. Are we ever, Marilyn asks, are we ever going to have a user group meeting in person again? Oh, maybe. When I try to use the keyword search for profiles, it doesn't seem to have full functionality. The keyword search is supposed to be scanning and profiles correct. There's a lot of back and forth on this. There used to be, and I will see right now if they've been combined. There's actually like a couple search fields that do different things. We're trying to make it so that these two search fields, this becomes like a master search field, which intuitively you would think is what it does. But as it is really complicated to build things, sometimes they build them into their own areas. But again, we're trying to move these into here to be like a master one. But also just easy to recognize that there's more than one search area, which can make that a little difficult to find what you're looking for. But there's the search. Okay, and we're using the resume importer to allow candidates to speed up the application process, but it will not select the checkboxes for our skills or past employment. Let's see, somebody, Peter did a good, that's a bright idea light bulb on that one. Marcia, really good question. I'm not sure. It does seem like it should be, if it's filled out correctly and you have all of the conditioning to make it tags and types and everything do that. It does seem like it should do that, but that's probably, if it's not working for you, Marcia, that it's probably something that's been overlooked that we need to figure out. But yeah, I agree with you. It should be doing that, but if it's not, that seems like something we should look into to make sure that it is.
Can I just jump in here and ask a question real quick? I was just wondering, we're trying to integrate our application as close to possible as like what they will get when they import the Indeed resume.
Yes.
Trying to figure out if Indeed, like, so when they ask for skills, it's not exactly the same. When they ask for skills, we get this like long list of skills on their Indeed resume. I'm trying to find a way to match that. And I'm just wondering if it's like if it's because the words are not exactly the same, if that's the issue. And if I were to like make our words on our application exactly what Indeed says they are, if that would work. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, I can't say with 100% certainty. We have similar features that I didn't go over, but we should actually save for another time. But there is a note feature where if you take handwritten notes like I do, you can take a picture of it, you can put it inside Enginehire, and it will turn it into text. And if you have fields that you wanted to populate, it can read it again, take its best guess and go, oh, that's a first name, put that there. Usually it's not first names. I would do this for other things much more intimate to like what the care is that's needed to be provided while you're taking notes on it, right? But because I know that exists, it should, the closer you make the language, the better it will match.
Okay.
If you're doing that already and it really isn't working, and that's like a really fantastic feature, please create something for that. And we have two really amazing, wonderful AI developers that have built all of these things, and we can make sure that like we can suss out like why that's not happening and what maybe needs to happen to put that on
Is there just
that
Is
done.
there just any way you can confirm that the check boxes will check in that parsing? Like if you upload if you upload the resume, it will fill out like your email and your name and all that kind of stuff. I'm just curious if maybe the check boxes it can't do that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, totally.
I'm just wondering if there's before I go through all this work to like match things, I just want to know if the system will actually check those boxes. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
Katie, Todd, do you know before I give an idea? No.
Not sure. But it seems like she tested it, didn't work.
Well,
Um,
I've
so I,
tested it with a couple of resumes and it didn't
yeah.
work. But that I haven't exhaustively like taken, I mean, I haven't gone through and actually created a resume that uses those exact words to see if it would check those boxes. So I guess I could do that, but I just am kind of curious if you
No.
guys know if the system works like that before I do the work to test something that doesn't actually exist.
Marsha, I totally get you. This whole thing is about saving time. I definitely don't want you spending all of your time testing this that hard, but I really appreciate the gusto to do it. I will find out for you if it does the check boxes, and if it doesn't,
Oh,
I'll make a ticket to be like, let's figure this out.
okay, thank you. I
No,
appreciate it.
really, really great question.
Okay.
Those are the types of things where it's use cases of, somebody's come to us with an idea, the developers build it, and then only when it's getting used, like you're doing right now, do we find out like, oh yeah, that doesn't really do all of those things yet, so it needs to. And so yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly. I really appreciate that. Okay, and just about 5 more minutes left. Also, if I'm going to read these last two questions, but also since we're all here, if there is anything that you want us to go over like this, or go more in depth into the certain areas of Enginehire, we would love to do something like this again, a bit more informal, of like a webinar where we're talking strictly about like what you can do inside the Enginehire system. Please put it in the chat. And if you can't think of it right now, please email me, Danny at enginehire.ca later with your ideas. And if you really want to make sure that it gets to everybody, you could go hello@enginehire.ca. But please share. Use the community. Community is a really great asset for us as a team, and I really do hope it's also like you find it useful as well. Even when you share things about like things are not working so well, that's okay. Do that. How do I add the resume parser to profiles? Sandra, please reach out to support. I believe right now that is like an Enginehire only feature, or like Enginehire like support can only like go and do that in the backend. That's something you want. I want to make sure that there's certain features that get removed from there and are able to be accessible to you in here. But I am very certain that feature is something you'll need to ask our team to turn on for you. And completely transparently, that's not something that we want. We don't want to have to do that. What happens is when we're building these features, we don't want to put them out there for everybody, and people go, "Oh, this doesn't work." It's like, oh, we're still like building it. We have a staging platform area where like things get figured out and tested and all of that. But then from there, we can do like, we can pick a couple of use cases where people have said, that they want this feature, and they can help us, navigate implementing it so it doesn't go wide out there. But then sometimes those features stay locked away. And that's why we do something like this. So I just wanted to share that. But yeah, please reach out to support and they can turn that button on for you. Are there any tools within Enginehire for making the process from Indeed to Enginehire a smoother transition, facing bumps and all of that after applying on Indeed? Yes. So 2 things there. There is an integration of Indeed and Enginehire. Indeed really hates integrations. They don't want people doing that. We've asked them so many times, like 2 years ago, plus we started reaching out to them, and it had gotten so far, and then people were like, then Indeed changed their minds, and they were like, we really don't want to keep doing this. We kept being like, please keep doing this, and they kept saying no. We did figure out a way to do an integration into it. And what happens when you have that integration, people can apply to a job, and then it can put that information inside your platform. You can have them go to a specific status. You can have them tagged as a certain thing. So what you would generally, in my mind's eye of the easiest workflow for that would be you have them go into your pre-applied status, and then you have emails that are conditioned for those people, and you have them be type of like job board. So you know, because it doesn't actually just do Indeed, it actually does like 30 other job boards, all just tied together. That integration is a premium integration where it costs $25 per job per month. So if you have 2 jobs on there for 1 month, it's $50. If you have 2 jobs on there for 1 month, but you only use them both are only on there for 1 week, it still is $50. Once that job has been filled and you no longer have it, you no longer want it showing on Indeed, you would have to go in and say, hey, I don't want this job showing on Indeed anymore. Otherwise, it will continue to charge you, even if you've placed that job. I do have a ticket in for it to realize if they're in hired, that it takes it off Indeed. But because the system is so configurable, you could have it be different statuses. So I would also still say like the best course of action would be to go into that integration and turn that off. The caveat to that is, again, like Indeed, they just want everybody doing everything in Indeed. So if you pay for the higher tier within Indeed, you can have it like redirect things from there as well. And that can be helpful. But Indeed does make it really hard. I've looked at this in a bunch of different ways, seeing what other tools there are to maybe have other integrations. Zapier is like, they used to be able to do that. Indeed made sure that there's like a firewall between them and Zapier. So anything coming from Indeed, like it doesn't, they're really particular. So we're trying to make it as best we can. The more ideas you come up with and share, like we're always happy to look into those for sure. So please keep sharing those. Again, I feel like that was a lot on that, but just trying to share and give a full picture. That's okay. And then Allison asked, I would love a webinar about best practices to set up work experience and reference sections so that we can search data. Yes. Allison, Allison is like, should be the person that has like a plaque up like in because of Allison, this was made. There's a lot of people like that, but specifically in references, Allison has contributed a lot to making the reference section more clear for everybody. And she's come up with a lot of great ideas. So yeah, let's do one on that as well. All right, well, we've gone past time a little bit. Please utilize the community, share what you are also hoping that we could do another one of these, what that topic would be. Yeah, really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I suppose there's 2 more things entered. Oh, Andrew from our team just added in things. He wrote, for interview note sections, if all of your questions are in a single area, the answer won't be saved into the model. Instead, create each question as a separate field. This way the answers are saved into that model and you can search by keywords. Adding on to that, he also wrote that. Be careful, but you can use the same models in user profiles to store the information. So the information that you gathered, their interview can automatically be updated into the corresponding fields. There's a really cool article about doing that, so we can share that too in the email that has this recording. I will send everyone the recording of this either tomorrow or Monday. Personally, it's conflicting for me because I've seen the data and people don't open up emails on Friday, so I tend to do it on Monday anyways. But I don't know, we'll see. And you can always see this if you go to the enginehire.io website. There's a thing for webinars, and you can find every webinar we've ever done. I guess maybe not ever done, but a lot of them, definitely from like the past 2 years. And you can find all that information. I will put this there as well. Again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Hope to do this again and to see you soon. But yeah, have a good day, everybody. Thanks for joining.